Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Board Game Smorgasbord. I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Camilla.
I'm Z Garcia. Hello.
Good morning.
We like to do a shout out to some of our sponsors who are sponsoring that. I'm so sorry that this is your episode. Anyway, the Bridges family. Carl Iderworth.
Jeff Bridges?
No, Claude.
Claude Bridges is a cousin of Jeff Bridges.
Veronica Gallagher. Soma Palmolnar. Carolyn Guo. And both Lee and Sarah Birmingham.
Sweet.
Oh,
Thank you guys for sponsoring the show.
thank you, thank you.
Also, folks, we have a contest. A contest here, folks. This is from Yellow, and it's for a game you saw us play on our channel called Ancient Knowledge. Ancient Knowledge from Yellow is a game that you are building up your civilization
Yeah.
by playing cards, but these cards will slowly decay as time goes by, and you want them to decay. You want to use them before they decay, because if you have knowledge that you haven't used, that comes up to hurt you and lose points.
Yeah, I think you want to remember them is what it is.
Remember, that's right.
Theme.
Remember.
You're erecting monuments and building artifacts. And so to enter this contest, to get a copy of this, which, by the way, is being released in just a couple weeks at Essen, the Essen Fair, emails at contest@dicetower.com. In the subject line, put the word ancient, but you need to answer, you need to put two things in the body. Your address, in case you win. You need to answer the question, what award did Ancient Knowledge win? I'll narrow it down for you. It did not win a Dice Tower Award, but that's not because it's a bad game. It's because they're for games that came out last year.
Yeah,
And this game has not yet come out.
Yeah.
It has not yet come out.
Award.
But it has won an award. So,
My mind is
I
exploding.
don't know this answer.
Time is cyclical,
Oh,
you're saying?
Time to Google.
do you want the Mexican pyramids in your thing? The Sphinx of Giza? Find out. Enter this contest. All right.
Do you need
Oh,
your
crap.
computer?
Let's get to the news.
Anyway, folks, Tom is going to be right back.
Right back.
He's coming right
he's
back,
coming.
okay? Don't you worry about
To
it.
open this stuff.
And I need to do it out of breath.
I'm back. Okay, the news was already open.
Okay, I'll tell you what. I'm going to make a longer bumper there.
For emergency purposes.
Yeah, the backup bumper, just in case.
Okay, we're right now. Hey, so what's in the news? Okay, let's start sad news, actually. Haba.
Oh, this won't surprise me.
Haba, this is a toy manufacturer, also known for their games, has declared bankruptcy. Now, from what I can tell, this is a restructuring bankruptcy.
Want something to drink?
No, that's not the thing. It might be that I'm slightly out of shape. Okay, so in July, they laid off more than 100 employees, and they're going to discontinue their children's clothing line. And
Wait, what? They had that?
What?
Anyway,
Was it a big thing in Germany or other parts of the world, maybe? I've never heard that they had a clothing line.
how many people do you think work at Haba?
I thought it was a big company, so...
That's what I would figure.
48.
2,000.
Okay, I was lowballing it.
I was
okay.
going to say like 400.
2,000.
I was trying to
So I was
lowball it just to be
still-
like, okay, because the other extreme, I say like 2,000, and Tom goes, "You're an idiot." And 12 people work
Nobody
there.
has 2,000 employees.
No one.
No one
Google,
ever.
No, I didn't
Google
know
employs
that.
62 people.
I'm just saying 2,000 employees is more than like most of the companies at Gen Con combined.
Yes, that's
Yeah,
fair.
yeah.
And
Sure.
so that's a lot. Again, I don't know what's going to happen. Again, it's restructuring. So it says they're trying to put the company in a solid financial.
So maybe they're cutting out some of their, I don't want to say side products, I know projects. Philippe here says that it's very big in Germany. I'm assuming he means the clothing.
I'm assuming. We
But
know
some
the
of those-
company is big.
Right, I'm wondering if they're trying to kind of focus those employees and focus that energy into the stuff that is more international. I don't know. But
Still not great news, and hopefully
No.
they can rebound from this, because Haba is a staple in this hobby. They really are.
Yeah.
have for many years offered things that not a lot of other companies offer. They are part of this hobby.
Yeah.
I still think I'm going to die not understanding exactly how bankruptcies work. I've never understood it.
I sure
Just
hope you do die without
declare it,
understanding
yeah.
it.
Well, I would
And
like to
say
not
that
understand.
I say that with the best intentions.
It's only because you're tied.
Correct. Okay. I don't want you to know. I don't want you to find out how it works.
Alrighty. A new company is coming, though. As companies disappear, new ones come in. Sidekick Games, which, by the way, great logo. I
Fantastic.
really like that logo.
Oh, that is wonderful.
Now, Sidekick Games is a new company. It's the designers of Heat are going to be putting this new company together from Copenhagen, Denmark. And so the designers Asger Harding Granard and Daniel Skjold Peterson. They're partnering with Dan Halstead. It's a new line of generational games. That's their whole thing. They want to make games that they have two important criteria: enjoyed by all generations and built to last generations. That's nice, and those are good points. Isn't that kind of what most board game companies are trying to do? Especially the second one, built to last generation.
Not Haba.
Oh, that's
for
true.
kids.
Ooh, too
That's
soon.
true. No, I get
soon.
that. But again, they're like saying this is for everyone. Anyhow, these guys are pretty good designers. They made Heat, and then even before Heat, they were known for Flamme Rouge. So we'll see. This has been if someone asked me like what's been a thing of 2023, a lot of designers are starting their own companies.
That's true.
Yeah.
You know, this is the fourth or fifth now that we've talked about with these designers. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing because they're different skill sets. Like who are the best people running board game companies aren't designers.
Right. Generally speaking, yes.
Right, but I mean, I just hope that with
I'm
that
cutting
starting,
Ryan Lockett out of everything.
yeah,
Sorry.
I'm hoping like with that and that they're building the company behind it. You know, a developer, a producer, things like that. That they're building that with it and not just a one-man kind of show. I think that works for some people. I mean, Ryan Lockett, for example.
Yeah.
You know, but I do agree it is a little like, oh, not everyone can do that. You know, like just making sure we're still maintaining that production quality and development quality, I think.
I am curious about these. Yeah, there's a lot of them.
But fantastic logo. That's my main takeaway from it.
All right, Tigris and Euphrates was having a reprint coming this year at Essen. Guess what? They're not.
What happened?
The license, something, it got changed from one publisher to another. I don't know who it is, but it's coming out in 2024 or 2025 now.
Oof.
But have no fear, more Knizia is coming. Mike is very excited. First
Okay,
from
let's see.
him,
What do we
and
got?
this is from Bitewing, who is now becoming like the Knizia company, honestly. Maybe he'll buy half of that, like all the other designers. Cascadero. So this is Ian O'Toole was the designer, artist. I mean, not the designer. He's the artist, illustrator of this game. But Knizia is this. Mike says he thinks it's new. I agree with him now that
That's
I've
what
looked at it more
Bitewing
closely.
said. Bitewing
Quote,
said as much. They sent out an email, and they said, this is new. This is not a reimplementation of something, though it does kind of feel like, what did they say? They said it's kind of like if Through the Desert got together with Millefiori or something like that. It's kind of what they said.
interesting. Like
I don't know.
tracks
They
instead
sent
of-
out a whole email about this. It looks neat. Bunch of tracks. And again, in the email, they were like, yeah, you know, we also are kind of sick of too many tracks. But these tracks are different. These are exciting tracks. So I don't know
I
what
guess
that
is
means.
that the part that comes from Millefiori is the different ways to score?
Yeah,
It goes
kind
into
of like a
tracks,
Ganshon
maybe?
Clever kind of vibe there with things cascading and opening up. It looks good. I mean, it looks interesting. I don't know.
Yeah.
I like that cover a lot. And Ian O'Toole is an incredibly well-versed graphic designer and illustrator. So
That's really funny. He's one of my favorites, and I'm not liking that cover. That's really
I
funny.
was actually going to say, I think he's a fine graphic designer. I think his art is okay. It's good.
Really,
and I
really?
also don't like that cover.
Yeah, I don't like the cover.
It's like
at all.
it looks like a guy is going to the circus.
Yeah, and wallpaper, like I'm just not. I don't like it at all.
Remember that name Cascadero, and I want you to remember that name because I don't want you to confuse it with Cascadito, which is another game they're coming out with. This is a roll and write style game with a guy blowing a horn. Maybe this is the circus. I don't think it's a circus. But okay, I'm interested in the first game.
Is it a roll and write of the other one? I feel like I'm being really dense here.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
says
they're
it's a
kinda
smaller
Based on
spiritual
it.
sibling.
Got it. Okay. Because obviously the covers are very in line.
What is spiritual sibling? It's such a weird terminology. Okay.
Spiritual.
These are not. This is not the circus. This is a séance.
Alrighty, the next game I was not initially interested from the cover, Boundless Stride. This is a design duo, Daryl Hardy, who did Runebounds,
Okay.
and Brandon Perdue, who did X-Men Mutant Insurrection and some of the other, they're Fantasy Flight people,
Okay.
and Kevin Wilson.
Okay.
Now, this is a cooperative legacy game.
Oh, wow.
Players are animal scouts protecting their home and neighbors. And I was like, that sounds a little interesting. I did see then, though, that this is the same company who put out, what is the other game they put out? I just played it, Kinfire Chronicles. And I'm very impressed with the production of that game and the gameplay so far. When I'm not done with where we're at, me and Joe are going to review, but I like that game. Comes in all these little boxes. You pull out the box, open it, that's all the stuff you need for that mission. And then you can put it back in and play the next one. It
Okay.
uses plastic standees or the acrylic standees, which I like a lot.
I do like those.
So we'll see. This cover looks like a 90s video game or a sneaker advertisement. But
Yeah, I don't know. I'm
That's
not
a
feeling this
lot.
box. The logo. Is it supposed to be? Is it supposed to look like the '80s? That logo.
Yeah, it looks 80s. The art looks like Lisa Frank adjacent, from the 90s. It's just, I don't know. There's a real disconnect in it. That cover does not fit or intrigue like the description. I think there's a huge disconnect between those two.
I agree, but it's Incredible Dream did a good job in the first game, so we'll see. This is supposed to come out July next year.
All right, cool. I want to be that turtle. Calling a turtle.
All right, Z, I know you've been dying for this next expansion.
Let's go already.
Dig in the expansion for Dig Your Way Out.
That's what I've been waiting for, man.
Did not know enough people
Dig
played the
in
original game
so you can dig
for
out.
this to need an expansion. Have you played it yet?
No, I haven't played it.
We've had it for a while. This is a theme I don't know that a lot of people are going to like, the dig Your Way Out, because it's a prison, and it really gets into the theme where you're trading cigarettes and stuff
Right,
like that.
like the currency is cigarettes, right? And it's
The artwork is the Miko, so I know people like that, but I haven't heard anything about this game, but doesn't matter. There's an expansion coming.
I'm a huge fan of the Micho's art, but that hand looks like a foot.
That hand is a foot.
No, it's not. You can't do
There's
that.
evil afoot.
No.
All right.
I'm gonna hand it to you. It's a foot.
All right. Let's go to a nice looking cover here.
Wow, rude.
Ultimate Voyage, When China Rolled the Seas.
That is a nice cover.
Except for the main logo, the main title. It's a weird font.
That font at the top is sort of uninspired. I can't quite see very
It
well.
looks
look
like
here.
it looks like Impact, doesn't it?
Definitely looks like Impact.
I'm pretty sure it's Impact.
Like the bottom when China ruled the seas, very nice on the scroll, but that top is not done yet. Yeah,
right.
You're not done.
yeah.
It does feel like it's a placeholder.
I agree. The Ultimate
Yeah.
Voyage is like the text, the ipsum whatever text that shows up when you first drop in the text.
I'm
You gotta finish that bit there. Plus, it's white on that light blue white.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, they do have the drop shadow on it there, but no, I'm pretty sure that's Impact, which is it's what we use for our badges and stuff because it's just in your face, legible.
It's easy to read,
That's
right.
I do like the little sun shining, that little starburst there.
Oh, the
It's
cover looks great.
Really cool.
So what is this game,
Very
Tom?
This is from a publisher called Little Monks. They're a publisher based in Hong Kong.
Okay.
So this is, I believe, their first game. Players are daring captains accompanying Admiral Zheng He's legendary treasure fleet as he brings honor and glory to the Emperor. But there's dissidents and whatever. There's 6 characters. Each round you pick 3 different actions out of a possible 5. And if you're successful in the game, you will become Zheng He, persuading Ming China to persist in maritime expeditions. This is coming out next year. I like the idea. I like the publishing. I'm excited about this one. Looks good.
But he said those sails are way too close together to catch any wind. And I hadn't even noticed.
Yeah.
But it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 sails.
Right.
That might be a thing. I don't know much about ships.
I
Maybe
don't
the
know.
wind comes underneath.
I
I don't
don't
want
know.
to. I can't mock shipbuilding. I don't know much about it.
What are you talking about? You've been a shipwright for years.
You know what else I've been is judging of covers, because look at this next one. A very
see what you got.
civil whist by Fred Serval.
Huh.
I don't know that you...
So it's a reprint of Whist.
Well, yes, it is it's a... I just think that this cover and the name, the whole thing is like, it screams pretentious. Like, have you played a very civil whist? I'm like, wow, that cover looks ugly. And the person's like, oh, to you.
I think that block of text is really what's not, because I mean, I
it's
love
what
that.
sells it.
That's
Right, I
what does
really
it.
love the sketch art in this. That's like one of my favorite art styles. It's kind of that sketched look. I think that is fantastic. But that block of text, that's a hard.
Is the one guy killing his horse?
No.
No, he's blocking. He's coming up because the other guy's coming
Yeah.
down.
Oh, okay.
Have you ever been in a sword fight?
Giving the horse
No.
I'll show you later.
He's
You won't.
giving the horse a haircut.
I have the sword. Players are trying to control different tracks. This game comes with a board. I looked it up. There's a little board,
Uh-huh.
and then you're linked to suits. If you win a trick, you'll make territory gains across the map.
So it actually is Whist. I was
it's
joking.
whist. It is. No, it's the classic trick-taking whist with a board. It's coming from Phalanx. I mean, this is the original company. Phalanx is picking it up.
Okay. Huh.
It started as a convention freebie game.
Yeah, no, really?
All right.
That font, though, not impact.
That's good.
We got 2 games coming from R&R. First, we have Secret Identity. This is a game in which you are trying to guess your opponent's hidden identities while trying to make them guess yours. You get a color key card. It tells you which 8 characters, and then you use these little picto cards to give clues about your character. I hope it works well. I mean, if I'm Abraham Lincoln, I'm that top hat, right? But
Sure, but you have to have drawn it, I'm guessing.
yeah, I don't know. I worry sometimes these games I'll have like sandals, and I'm like, well, I hope I hope they know this is Genghis Khan. You know what I mean?
I was gonna go with Jimmy Buffett.
Well, no, I mean if it matches exactly.
Buffet.
Too soon. All right,
Oh, gosh, that's right. He just typed, didn't
he
he?
did just this past weekend.
Sorry. I'll
Well, that's news to me. I apologize.
No, it's fine.
I'm going to go to Margaritaville this weekend.
All
It's gonna be
righty.
packed. There's no way. You can't do that for like 5 years now. No.
Time's Up Family Edition.
Here we go. That's what I've been waiting on.
So this is interesting because it's the classic rules of Time's Up,
Yeah.
but instead of Time's Up was just different people,
Yes.
famous people from all different walks of life. Then there was Time's Up Title Recall, which was titles of movies and songs. This is everyday objects. Their example is like stapler, stamps, hairspray.
Go.
I know all of those. That's good.
My concern about this one, and it sounds, I mean, I like Time's Up, but if you gave me stapler, I could get you to guess that in the acted out round
Yeah.
without the other 2 rounds existing. It's like almost too easy. You know what I mean? You know, some of the best moments in Time's Up are when someone uses some sort of gesture to mean a person and everyone laughs, but that gesture then defines that person for a while.
Yes.
I love that. Here, if I'm a screwdriver, that's going to be the, you know what I mean? It's not.
It's
not,
always that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not going to be. I don't know that this one will be as funny.
Yeah, I could see that being, again, like you said, if it's a simple thing to act out and there's no confusion, the point is it needs to be a little confusing. By the time you act it, if you start singing and we're like, Mariah Carey, oh no, Elvis was in there too. We forgot. Then that matters. I think you might be right. Stapler is stapler, yeah. We'll see. Tom, we're playing this though, right?
We will play it. I wonder, but it is like Mike was telling me it's a family edition, so there's that too. But you could still do a family edition. I don't know. Well, I'll wait.
I'm going to wait too, mostly because I don't have it available to me yet.
Micro Macro Crime City Showdown with a bonus box. More Micro Macros. I still haven't played anything past the first one.
Oh, really? I played not all of the things, but I think I've played 3 of them now.
Number 3 will shock you.
Either 2. Anyway.
Anyway, there's more. I like this. It goes, while Showdown may be the final game in the Crime City series, which means we're just changing series. I mean, they're still going to make more. Come on now. There's a bonus box, and they all fit together to make a big map, which they have alluded to hundreds of times.
Oh, I
What?
didn't know they alluded. I thought they straight out said, like, with the first one.
Oh, okay.
I think it
this
was-
isn't a big surprise.
No, I don't think it was meant to be a surprise.
Okay, wait, what?
Yeah.
Like you can take all the maps, put them together, and then the bonus box has missions for that?
Yeah, so from the very first box, there's all the characters you didn't use, that kind of stuff, the funny things you might have pointed out. The 4 maps actually fit together. And
There's
to make a
4 of these?
Yeah, this is the 4th. Yes.
Isn't one of these already the size of like this table?
Oh yeah, you're not.
Yeah.
You're not gonna be able to play this. I don't know how you would play all 4. You can use a 4.
I will, yeah.
I am too.
I
I no longer
absolutely
play
will.
I
it
saw
with a
you
4.
run for the computer. Don't
Shut
worry. We know. Okay.
Yeah, no, this is one of my son's favorite activities. You know, I mean, and so I think this is definitely something. And I've talked to him about this bonus box. Oh, and they'll go together. And so, we've had discussions looking at the map. Oh, I wonder if this guy goes over to that one or which way it's going to go. Like
Oh, no joke. That
so
I mean,
he
as
is
a
gonna
kid,
be
I'd be
so
super
excited.
pumped about that.
Yeah, and it's just good family time. I think. Yeah,
I wonder
we
if they
really
fit
enjoy
together
this.
in multiple ways. That would be cool.
Oh my God.
I don't think so
no
because
way.
I mean the original one has the like river right here, and so you wouldn't be able to put a river up at the side. Yeah.
But that would be interesting.
I'm telling you, there's an actual murder hidden within these.
I mean, you could just do them one on top of the other, and just as you go through, be like, oh, okay, to the south,
Super
to the
dark.
south is such and such maps. You wouldn't have to like have that much room, any more room than normal.
What do you do?
That's not how maps work.
Okay.
Though. Your folded one,
Speaking of murder,
put in your car. It's really hard.
the Night Cage has an expansion coming. The Night Cage, which is one of the scariest board games.
Oh, what is happening?
The Shrieking Hollow.
Whoa. I'm uncomfortable. I'm deeply uncomfortable. What is it?
Oh, I think so. What is going on there?
Me too. Super.
Anyhow,
I really don't know what I'm looking at.
this is the first expansion for the game.
It's a big mouth open.
Oh.
You're gonna fall in it.
Okay, I see. I'm looking at. Okay.
It's like this.
You see it now, Tom?
Oh,
that.
no, I knew that was a mouth.
Oh, you did?
No.
I just don't
Thanks
know what
for
all
the heads
I
up.
don't know what all the liquid is, and is
The
that
liquid is, I assume,
little, like-
spittle.
No, I think it's like little what do they call those? Not tentacles, but like the little mouth thingies. What are they called?
Spittle?
No, not. But blah, blah, blah. You know?
No, I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea what you're talking about,
It's
okay?
the little blah, 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 I don't know what they're called. They're like tentacles. Huh?
Tendrils.
Tendrils. Thank you, Roy. Roy to say the little tendrils.
Guess what? There's an expansion coming. Let's get off the screen because it's bothering people.
I love it.
I'm deeply disturbed by
I'm-
the tendrils.
Bone War.
Here we go.
Hey, paleontologists like to fight too. Bitter rivalry between two people. And this game is coming from Game Brewer here. It's designed by the same guy who did Oak, Wim Goosens. And the artist is Laura Bevone, who did Mad King Ludwig. Anyhow, it looks like it's a 1v1 game. You are activating your paleontologist published paper, debunk other players' work, and win awards. It might be more than 2. Doesn't say 2-player here. Anyhow, you want to fight over dinosaur bones?
I do. I'm worried about Game Brewer.
All right, then we have Newsboys. Bum, ba-na-na-na-na. All right, Newsboys is a new board game from Sashi and Sashi.
That's what I'm talking about.
1 to 4 player, based on the Newsboys boys, the newspaper boys in Brooklyn, New York, where they can all sing "Seize the Day" together. Easy to play, flip, roll, and light. Maybe they mean right. Play procedure and perfect chain of bonuses. Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. The people who are going to buy this are going to buy it, and they're going to love it. Like for some people, we'll just call them Michael Smith. All right.
Okay.
They'll
I'm okay with that.
rest their head on this box, and they'll be like 9 out of 10.
Oh, wow.
Straight up.
Oh, wow. It looks cool. It reminds me of Trails of Tucana. The look of that board looks like Trails of Tucana.
Oh.
Anyway, no, it seems like a small box again from this company. A little bit like the Let's Make a Bus Route little one, whatever that was. I guess the 2-player one. So, yeah, cool. I'm glad that they're still coming out with games. Sasha and Sasha make neat stuff.
In shocking news, Roxley Games has announced that they're doing Marvel Dice Throne X-Men.
Yo.
They have kept all the characters hidden as of this point, but we know 2 of them now.
Can I guess which 2?
Wolverine and Sog. Who are the other 4? 6 or 8, however many there may be. We know.
Oh yeah, 'cause they do a whole thing. Do we?
Well, I know.
Yes.
We who?
We know.
We?
We do. We'll talk more about this another time. Yay, there's more stuff.
Yes, in a moment you'll know too. I mean, where's
Maybe.
she been? Go play that lined up murder thing.
Oh, Night Cage.
Tendrils. Not
All right.
that one. I meant the one with the little people.
Mix the two.
Murder
of them.
map.
Mix the two.
Oh,
Micro macro. That's
micro
it.
macro.
Can you
So
mix
fun.
those two? Tendril Town.
That'd be
Murder
horrific.
Fest.
Century Big Box is coming. So this is kind of
Finally, this is
interesting.
the only game that had not had a big box yet. Ever.
What's funny is I actually have all the games in
This
one
one
of the
makes
regular boxes.
sense.
Yeah.
No, but I have the games in a regular box. No, I mean not boxes. If you take your band off, it's going to pop up.
It explodes.
Oh, you
yeah.
got rid of the other boxes. You did it yourself. You
I'm just
mean.
saying, this is the one time that, like, it immediately makes sense. You're like,
know.
oh, yeah, they hadn't done this yet? Because everybody else had.
But these three games work together.
Right.
But in case you're like me, who did that,
There you go.
you can buy this big box because there's going to be some I've never seen before expansion and some card sleeves in it. I know you love that.
I don't love that. I don't love that. Don't put
Unless-
content in your empty box.
Unless they sell the box with just the content, so then you can use your previously bought copies in it.
They are. I'm sure they are.
Then I'm fine with that, because then you're getting the big box and just the content. You're not having to repurchase the games.
Oh, I don't think. Ooh, that's true.
Yep.
It doesn't say it doesn't come with the. If this comes with all the games, then I'm not going to like that. What about the people who've already bought all three games?
Again, I think it's either or. It comes filled, or that's what you alluded
Yeah.
to.
And you don't like that. See, I like that. I'm like, either, okay.
No, that's fine. Yes, the box, nice, lovely. Don't put content in it. Either I get a storage box, or I get it filled, or I buy the games individually and get the box, whatever. The point being, they're like, here's an empty box, but also 12 extra cards that you can only get in this box. I don't like that behavior. That
Okay.
preys on people who are completionists, don't care for your box, but now need to buy your box because there's 12 cards in there you refuse to sell on their own or make available.
If they're completionists, do you not think they'd want the box anyway?
No!
I'm tired of big boxes in general. They're just so big.
I'm there with you. I think it's very intimidating to take it. And I understand that these three work together, but it's easier mentally for me to go and take a box off the shelf instead of.
This is a box.
You know, it is, but it's so
A big box.
It's a big
But we are
box.
definitely-
Oh, see, never mind.
We
I
are
can get that.
definitely reducing the number of big boxes in the Dice Tower for sure.
They are intimidating. People won't take them off the shelf.
Yeah.
All right, Stonemaier announced his new game. He loves to do this. Apiary is his new game. It's about bees. Bees are still hot.
In space.
Bees are hot.
But these are, yes, so this is a new and first-time designer, Connie Vogelman. The artwork is Quanche Mori, so you'll like that.
Yes.
I like that.
Humanity is gone.
Finally.
But there's a
About
new dominant
time.
sentient species, and the honeybee, who now call themselves the Mellifera, have evolved to take that top spot. You're going to pick one of 20 different asynchronous factions, which will eventually be
Asymmetric?
Asymmetric or
asynchronous.
Really?
It says asynchronous. They probably mean asymmetric.
Synchronous is just out of sync, like chronologically speaking. So maybe while I
Right.
play, you go away, and then when I'm done, you come back or
Well,
something.
either
It's
way,
like a new multiplayer solitaire. I love it.
if they are different ones, they will be balanced in a future patch coming out months after the game.
That's messed up. It's too soon.
What do
Okay?
you mean?
Haba just filed for bankruptcy.
Anyhow, you got to hive some resources and a few worker bees, and you're going to be technology sounds a little bit like a 4X. Create carvings to demonstrate your faction's strength, but the dearth is approaching, and with that comes hibernation. So then you only get a few actions. Have the most victory points. This is coming to retail in November. Pre-orders are up sooner now, or
It's
something like
amazing.
that.
I mean, I gotta praise Stonemaier Games for this. They kind of go the Apple route, where they're like, "Here's the new phone, and it's available to pre-order in 3 weeks or whatever."
Right.
Not. I mean, how many games have we looked at here where they're like, "And you can start thinking about it in 2024." This is coming out now, for all
It's-
intents and purposes.
Yeah, such a reprieve from all the Kickstarters and that. And again, I have no problems with the Kickstarters, but this is nice to see that they're still able to do this and maintain it. Because it's hot right now. I want to get it right now or soon, kind of riding that buzz sooner rather than later.
Yeah, no, that's cool. I think it looks neat. The bees in space thing, sure, maybe, but I like the vibe.
I hope so.
I like the vibe of it.
All right. Lorcana has been running out of stock. And you know this if you try to go buy any. You go to your local Walmart, your local stores, it's out. So, I like this news. Ravensburger plans to combat Disney Lorcana stock shortage. No joke. We would like to sell more. Got it. So anyway, their goal is for everyone to be able to buy it. Blah, blah, blah. Who cares? Well, what we do care about is they announced the first expansion, Rise of the Floodborn, which you knew that was the emphasis. They actually put it in the title.
They had said, or the designer had mentioned that the focus of this first expansion was the Floodborn characters, which I guess are like characters in like with vibes or imagery that is not from anything.
Yeah,
it's
we
made
have
up
the
for
title on
game.
the next slide. Rise of the Floodborn. This is coming out, I believe, December 1st or somewhere around that time frame. 200 more cards, which like doubles the set, honestly. There will be a new keyword, resist, that indicates how much additional damage characters might be able to withstand.
I love it.
That's weird. I don't know that getting characters destroyed was a major point of the game right now. Anyhow, there's 2 new starter decks coming. Amber, Sapphire, and Amethyst Steel. And booster packs. Wow, those booster packs. $6 booster packs are expensive.
Are they $6?
Yeah.
So I'm confused. Back to who these are. You said these are not going to be Disney characters. They're new characters.
No, they are Disney characters imagined or interpreted in ways that are not from what they're from. We already had some of these in the first set, and it was like Scar from The Lion King, but like made out of lava or something.
Oh, I see
And
what you're
like
saying. So these will
Stitch,
be.
but he's a rock star.
Got it. So they're still characters, just
It's the same
what if
character
kind of
imagined
things.
in a different sort of fantastical way, because in this
Yeah.
setting, apparently Lorcana does have a theme, and it's not just money, Disney stuff. The theme, I guess this world creates versions, glimmers of these characters that are different from what we know because of their movies or whatever.
Hold on. There's still money involved because I didn't talk about the Lorcana Disney 100 edition,
Talk about it, please.
which comes with 4 booster packs but 6 cards
Yeah.
that feature gorgeous, never-seen alternate artwork drawn by animators. Each one has a frame design, holographic foil finish, and blah, blah, blah. Okay. That's going to retail for $50.
Speaking of preying on people.
I know.
It's like so much worse than the big box thing we just talked about. That's like. Ugh,
Well, at least you get
so
4
disgusting
booster
to me.
packs, so you're saving
guess so.
$24.
Hoo-hoo.
So you're paying the other $25 for 6 cards.
That's so disgusting.
Yeah, Disney addicts.
well,
give us your
again,
money.
Magic has been doing much worse than that, to be
I
fair.
criticize them also.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they're just following in line then. I mean,
These guys are
just
just-
because someone did it worse doesn't make it okay.
No, I know.
Somebody killed somebody, so I can slap you. No, it's not how that works.
That might have been escalated in conversation, but
Yeah,
yes.
that was a little much all of a sudden. Jeez. All right.
And that, folks, there's a lot more news, honestly, but I push some of it back to next week. We'll tell you more then, but let's keep going.
Hi, I'm Anne from Game Like a Mother. I specialize in games that can be played in 20 minutes or less, but today I am talking about a game that says 35 minutes on the box because we are so into Miss Over Carcassonne. Carcassonne is a great entry-level game for people getting into the board game hobby, and it seems like it's one of those that really has staying power even if you are full in on the hobby and play a bunch of games, because there are so many great expansions available to add to the game experience. Miss Over Carcassonne is the new cooperative version of Carcassonne. It's a standalone game, and in this game, you are trying to work together to score a certain number of points before your board, you run out of ghosts in your supply or you run out of tiles. And we have been playing this a lot, and we have never run out of tiles. It is the ghosts that are your one big problem to solve while you are playing this game. This game is very challenging. There are just 6 levels of play, and it starts out fairly simple. You are just taking turns placing out tiles and trying to work together to score points, manage the ghosts, and just get to 50 points first. But then there's a lot more added each level and it scales up quickly. The big trick is you have these mist pieces that have ghosts inside of them. And when you place one, you have to place a couple more ghosts on the board. If you're able to fully enclose an area of mist, like building a city, but of ghosts in mist, then you get to get rid of all of the ghosts in that mist area and they're gone from the board. Or you can get rid of ghosts by, if you have a scoring option, you can choose to forgo the points you would have gotten and get rid of up to 3 ghosts from a tile instead. So there's a lot of what we call ghost management, where we'll just make a 2-tile city and it would have been worth 4 points. And instead we say, okay, I made the city, got rid of these 3 ghosts, and we're moving on. So that's just level 1. In level 2, you get to add in cemeteries and castles. And that's where it just starts getting really fun, because with cemeteries, if you have an open cemetery on the board, anytime you have to place a ghost somewhere, you also have to place one in the cemetery. So all of a sudden your ghost problem gets out of control and you're placing extra ghosts and it's just ramping up really quickly. So you have to put tiles on the 4 sides around top, bottom, left, right around the cemetery to close it. It gets rid of the ghosts, and then you have to bury one of your meeples on the board in that spot, and they are buried in the cemetery, and you can no longer use them for the rest of the game, which is hilarious. And the cemeteries, there is nothing positive about the cemeteries. You don't get any points from them. It is just a chaos factor. Which I enjoy, and it ramps up in later levels what you have to deal with the cemeteries. And the castles are just nice. If you have ghosts around the castles and you close it off, you score. Level 3, they add the hounds. This has been so much fun to play. You can also use it as an expansion for standard Carcassonne, and there's no co-op element to it then. And the ghosts, you can use those to scare away meeples, other players' meeples from spots on the board strategically, which is pretty neat as well. So this is the type of game that is clearly ideal if you are a solo gamer. It works beautifully for a solo game, and for us it's been ideal at 2 or 3 players, just because otherwise there's a bit of downtime with up to 4 or 5, so it's okay, but it's the most fun at 2 or 3 players. It's been really fun. My husband and I just have like a puzzle game to unlock and work on together each evening, and sometimes one of our boys will play with us too. So it works really well for that. The one thing is you do have to watch out if someone has a tendency to be an alpha gamer. This is exactly the type of game where they'll just kind of want to tell everybody what they're supposed to be doing. So just watch out for that. In our family, it's been fine because everyone's fairly opinionated. So we just have a nice discussion about where we should put the tile each time. But depending on your group, just be aware. And then the great question about this game is, why the people who gave us meeples to begin with would give us tiny little ghost figures and call them ghosts. I've been reading some online discussion, and creeples and booples have both been suggested, and I am happy with either of those. I don't know what the best solution is, but clearly it needs to be something besides ghosts. So that's it for me today. Thank you so much for tuning in. You can check out my other content at my YouTube channel or my website. And back to the folks in the studio.
Pooples.
Hey, Tom, we should talk about the top 3.
Food!
Top 3.
Food!
We're back to food again?
Again.
We did not do food for like the last 3.
I'm just saying, we do food a lot on this segment. Top 3 foods.
I don't care.
Okay, how about top 3 spherical foods?
Hey, as soon as I said we're doing the topic, you were like, yes.
I did.
Empanada stuffing.
So midnight snacks. Well, not for me. 9 p.m. snacks. But
I don't think it's really for me either. But like if it's late and I rarely do this. It's not really a thing where I'll like get up. Plus the insinuation is that you get up and go get a snack and then go back to bed kind of thing. I don't think I do that normally, but
I'm talking about late night snacks.
yeah,
That's
late
what
night
people mean.
snack.
Late
A little
night,
something
yeah.
before bed. I had a hard time coming up with a list. I don't know why. I definitely Googled this for ideas. I'll put it that way.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, what's your number 3?
My number 3 is my top 3 midnight snacks. Number 3, I'm going with hummus and something to dip in the hummus. I do like that. And
I need to know what you're dipping in it.
pita chips or like carrot sticks or something.
the
If I have the carrot
vegetables.
sticks, yes.
Baby carrots?
Yeah, baby
Or
carrots.
peppers. Peppers are really good in it too. They're really good.
But for me, it's probably, to be honest, it's probably pita chips. Or pita bread, which I also like in hummus. That's a good snack. Problematically, I don't know when to stop because it'll be a thing of hummus, like the little
You
pot.
stop when it's empty.
Oh,
Unfortunately,
you can't do that.
sometimes that is true, yes.
Ooh.
So that's tricky to know when you're like, okay, I've had like a few of these, now I'm good. But I really do like hummus. It's satisfying, it's tasty, and again, it's sort of not too. I don't feel like I'm downing a bunch of sugar right before I'm supposed to be jumping back into bed and going to sleep. So that's my number 3.
All right. I don't like hummus that much. I don't dislike it. It's kind of like what's the fuss about? But my 3 is very similar. But I picked salsa.
Okay.
Salsa and
That was
chips
on my
for
short
me.
list. Yeah, that's a good one.
Although I've graduated, I'm not using chips as much anymore. I'm taking tostada shells, the big round ones,
Okay.
and cutting them into 4s or breaking them into 4. I melt cheese on them first because
Because it's
Just
cheese.
obviously.
Yeah.
But they have less salt on them. They're less processed, and they're also nice and flat. I don't know why that is. And also, my biggest problem with salsa and chips is only the first half of the bag is usable.
And then it's the crumbs.
Then there are all those crumbs.
Yeah.
That really bothers me. The only way to do that is to mix them in the salsa, and that's just anyway.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Salsa is good though. I always make my own salsas. I mean, I either eat fresh salsa or I use a canned salsa, but then I'm adding hot sauce or whatever to it.
Oh, you like
Around the corner, our little fruit stand, Robert is here, has amazing salsas.
I was going to ask because it's I've not had it there. I've seen
Cranberry
it.
salsa.
It's really good. They have a
Orange
lot
salsa.
of
They got the
Key
little
lime
tubs,
salsa.
yeah. Any of those little tubs, and they have some store-bought ones are good too.
Oh, their fresh salsa is good. I meant their store ones. They have their own line there. They have cranberry salsa, which I like a lot.
Interesting. Okay.
I like fruity salsas. Anyway, this is a really dangerous one though because my problem with chips and salsa is I don't want to eat out of the can because that's gross. So I pour it in a bowl, but then there's not enough chips. And I put cheese on the chips. So I make a plate of cheese. I'm trying to make it even because if you eat it, you're like, oh, there's still some left in the bowl. I'll make another plate. Then you eat the plate and like, now I ran out of salsa. So then you top off the salsa. It's a never-ending story.
until it's
you've
empty.
eaten the entire
right?
Until you're
big
dead.
salsa.
Okay, take your own advice
And at that
until it's
point-
empty.
Yeah, at that point you could
The
have eaten out of a
never-ending
jar.
salsa.
I definitely lean more towards salty as it gets late at night. I do like the salty foods. I do have one exception to that, but my number 3 is crackers and cheese. Just like a block of cheddar, a block of whatever, cutting it up, and then Ritz or saltines or club or pita chips. Really just whatever I have on hand. But I like crackers and cheese together. It's definitely a good midnight
Specific
snack, and I do.
type of cheese?
No, I really like cheese.
Cheese
like,
whiz.
No, okay, never mind. Definitely a specific type of cheese. I really, really like Havarti. I like Parmesan, like fresh Parmesan. I say cheddar is one that I tend to have more on hand, just a block of cheddar that I cut if I'm doing like
What's the
midnight
cheapest?
snacks. Yeah. But I am one if I do get up in the middle of the night because I'm starting to feel again, like blood sugar is dropping or something like that, crackers and cheese is like a go-to for me. The cheese is a little sweet, the crackers are nice and plain, also like help me feel satiated. Yeah, it's a go-to for me.
Number 2. My number 2 is going to be either like a trail mix type thing. It can be mixed nuts. It can be trail mix. It can be any kind. The California mix. They call them all sorts of things, and they have all sorts of blends of stuff. Any one of those, whatever I've got on hand. Whether it be, you can be like, oh, almonds, but I don't have almonds. I have almonds mixed in with other various nuts. So a handful of that stuff and I'm good. It's nice and salty, or it might even have a little bit of like dried cranberries in it based on whatever the mix is, or you know, a little those little sticks, a little
Like the sesame sticks?
yeah, sesame
those are
sticks.
so
That's
good.
the little sesame sticks in there, all that stuff. So I like a good trail mix, or just mixed nuts.
All right, my number 2 is beef jerky or beef sticks or anything in
good
that
call.
category there. My favorite is the dried. It's not beef jerky. What's that called?
Slim Jim.
No, that's not.
Step into a Slim Jim.
Actually, I don't like Slim Jims as
Slim
much.
Jims are really processed. Like
They
you can
are.
tell.
There's also the grease on them.
But then it also almost tastes like, or feels like it has like shredded paper in it or something. Like
It
it definitely
does.
feels like it has casing inside.
I agree.
You know?
No, Slim Jims are really like not tasty.
That
And I
being
bet
said,
if you
will
could
definitely-
squeeze a Slim Jim,
Oh, yeah.
the stuff that would come out of that, just straight oil.
Yeah. That being said, I wouldn't say no to one. Like I still eat them, but I agree that they are disgusting.
But I like beef jerky because you can eat a little bit of it and it goes a long way.
Oh.
But also really good beef jerky. That I got some
That's
beef
it.
jerky from Martin brought me some from Bucky's. Oh, that beef jerky is so good. Not the
Yeah.
bag stuff, the stuff behind the counter.
Yeah.
Oh my word.
I'm a sucker for good beef jerky, but I'm
Good
picky
beef
with
jerky.
it.
But it's
Yeah.
hard to find. You're right. I'll eat almost any beef jerky because I like it that much, but there's definitely is levels of quality.
Mm-hmm.
And getting that stuff from behind the counter, it's really hard to do. I thought about making my own. It just, I think I'd have a hard time doing it because of, it would bother me to put that much meat in one of those things and come out with a few pieces of jerky. I'm like,
It is,
oh,
yeah.
wow, that was expensive.
Yeah, I've made
I agree,
a
yeah.
lot of jerky, just on the farm and just needing to cure the meat and stuff, and so I'd always do it. And it is
Yeah.
really like wah wah when you make it, and you're like, yeah, I've got like 5 levels of it and all this stuff, and it comes out like a quarter of a pound. You're like, what?
Everybody should
disappointing.
know, by the way, this is important, that almonds, that's a nut, not a seed. It's important that everybody know that. Just saying.
All right,
Peter wants to make sure that we know that.
all right. Now we know.
Was this a debate?
No, I'm just making
Okay.
sure. You know?
Now we know. My number 2 is the exception to me liking the salty foods, and that is red vines. I am a sucker for licorice, but specifically red vines. I cannot say no. If I have some red vines, I will have 1 or 2 a night until the bag is gone. Like I absolutely love red vines, and it's quick, it's sweet, but it's not overly sweet because it's not messy, it's dry,
That's true.
it's just kind of a perfect sweet for my tooth. So I love red vines. Yep.
I forgot I have all that licorice in the freezer. I need to eat some of that.
Oh,
What? What kind? What?
okay.
No, there was I went to a local seafood festival, and the guy who had
yeah.
made licorice, and he said you can freeze it, and it lasts. I was like, all right, great. So I bought like 12 packs.
But it's like super, because I think you brought some in, right? And wasn't it kind of gummy?
I'm not a
No,
licorice snob. I like all licorice.
crystalline.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess I am. And
My
that's why I
favorite
like,
is Starburst licorice because of all the flavors.
Did it make
oh,
that?
see, I like just the
I do.
plainness of it. Oh, so good.
All right. I am not a red vines fan whatsoever. My number 1 is going to be Jell-O.
Wow! I would never have guessed this.
Yeah, I just recently at the retreat had some Jell-O, and I was reminded of like, man, I really like Jell-O, especially the little cups with little pieces of fruit in there, like little tangerines or mandarin little pieces in there. Those are good, and again, that's the thing. I can grab a little cup of this stuff, have that. I've had something that is run out now, and I'm satisfied. Again, when it's something that does not denote an end, I will just kind of keep going. I don't know, like I don't have 3 and go, that's enough. Even though my body hasn't told me, yeah, like stop, you idiot, you've had enough. I
Do you make it yourself, or do you just buy the cups?
gosh, I haven't made Jell-O in ages. No, I just buy the little cups there.
One time with my kids, I made
Surprising.
a rainbow layer thing, and it took forever because you made it,
And you
you
gotta
put the
make
level
one.
in, stuck in the fridge for 30 minutes, bring it
Okay,
out,
yep.
next level.
Yeah.
But you have to let it cool too,
Yeah.
because you don't want to melt the one you already did.
Yeah.
Have you ever had the pretzel Jell-O salad? Where it's
Everything
like,
said sounded horrible there.
It's a salad because it's a mix of things. No, but it's a pretzel crust, and then it has this like cool whipped cream cheese middle, and then you do Jell-O with the fruit like you like on top. It is one of the few Jell-O things that I enjoy. I am not a fan. It's
I like
not,
my
'cause
Jell-O.
I don't
it's
mind
salty.
telling you, that might be the worst sounding thing
It
you've
is
ever
so
mentioned.
good.
In the 80s,
It is so
there
good.
was this big kick to make Jell-O healthy. And anytime I went to a potluck, someone brought Jell-O with carrots in it. That was a big thing. They would shred the carrots, these real thin carrots, they were in it.
You guys are ruining my number one for me. I have a new number one.
Wait, this is your number one? We're on oh, we are not. This is
my
your number
number-
one? I thought this was that is your number one is
That's my
Jell-O.
number one is Jell-O. Little, discreet
Wow.
cups of Jell-O, like somebody said. It used to be until I found out you can put pretzels and carrots
What
in
about
it.
wigglers, like the little jigglers, like the pieces that you can pick up and they jiggle around, you just eat them, you pop them?
Sure, yeah, but that's, again, I just get a spoon in the little cup and
How do you
have
feel
at
about
it.
whipped cream on them?
No.
Really?
No, those things don't go together. Just like carrots and Jell-O don't go together, okay? Stop ruining the things I like.
Jell-O, that is shocking.
Or
Pretzel salad, see? They know what I'm
tapioca
talking
pudding.
about. Oh, tapioca pudding I'd be on board
Same
with.
thing. Jell-O,
No.
tapioca pudding.
Completely different things.
I'm saying they're on the same level.
Okay, all
Okay,
right.
you can put carrot in both, is what I'm saying.
Oof, okay.
My number one is a crossover with Camilla, and that is crackers and cheese. I love crackers and cheese, but I'm very specific on the crackers. Saltines are good. They're my go-to because they're the cheapest one you can afford.
Yep.
But I really like the expensive cracker packs. I really like those things where they got like
I
6
like the
different crackers.
Oh, the fancy, yeah, the different crackers.
What are those called?
But I kind of fluctuate because one day I'm like, I want my cheese melted on the crackers, and another day I want it to be straight from the fridge. And I like mozzarella, pepper jack, Swiss are my go-3, but I'll eat any cheese. And I especially like if you can buy a variety pack of all kinds of weird cheeses.
Oh, got it.
Then I like that. But I always put sauces on them too. Hot sauce, Wickles, peppers on them. Sometimes I put ham on top of them too. It's like sandwiches.
I like
Eventually
salami,
it turns into
yeah.
a full meal.
Little finger sandwiches are good, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're fun. My number one is the first thing I thought of, and I have it on a very regular basis, and that is popcorn. I love popcorn.
What?
What a shocker that is.
It's so good. I have it
There's
3-4
popcorn
times a week.
smells at
Camille
work.
watches her movies with a side of. She buys the popcorn
with the
just to
side
go
of
to the
the
movie.
movie.
Yeah. It's popcorn
Yeah.
first, movie
Yeah,
distant
my
third.
popcorn's gone, the movie's off. I'm done. I'm checked out.
Oh, by the way, the movie theater here just changed to one size popcorns, but it's unlimited refills.
How much is it?
I don't know. It's really
Just
expensive.
to leave the movie to go get it. That's so dumb.
No.
Yes,
Yeah.
Someone has to leave the movie theater to get it.
Oh my
Doesn't have to be you.
gosh.
Fair.
Oh. I love
Fair.
popcorn.
Is that a service you could sell, you think?
Who needs refills?
Oh, absolutely. Oh, 100%.
Would you trust somebody, though, to go
Absolutely
touch your
not.
food and bring
No.
it
Who
back
works
to
for
you?
a movie theater?
No, I would very much be okay missing a movie to get more popcorn.
Yeah.
Yep. I love
Okay,
popcorn.
what's your favorite way to eat popcorn?
Butter.
It is. Okay, so not the caramel and all that stuff's not as...
That's a different thing. Like, I like that, but that's like a dessert. You know, I want to sit down to popcorn. I want a big old bucket of popcorn. I want napkins on the side because I've got, grease dripping down my face. That's all I
No
want.
flavored salts?
No. I mean, I want salt on it, but I don't want the... I mean, I'm good with those things, but that's not my... You say popcorn, I'm like
I
a
want-
good oil-popped popcorn with actual butter, not margarine, not that salt that tastes like butter. No,
What
I
about
want
sugar?
like...
Because that's what they do in England.
Kettle corn I really like as
No,
well.
I'm talking about sugar on your popcorn.
But again, if you do it like in the oil or something like that, then it hardens and kind of makes it like a kettle corn. But like actual sugar,
it?
like sprinkled on it, no. I want the butter.
They did half sugar, half salt too, which I was
do
confused
have-
about.
Have popcorn, have Jell-O.
Oh, you and the Jell-O.
Sounds
That's
awful.
so disappointing.
That sounds pretty
That
terrible.
is.
I made this Jell-O and I put some popcorn in it. That sounds like Snoopy's Thanksgiving dinner that he made for everybody.
Oh.
All right, anyway, those are our favorite midnight snacks. Let's keep going. All right, we just got back from the Dice Tower retreat last week, and it was great. We were there for an extra day than we are normally, and we all each played 7,000 games. That's not quite true, but man, did we play a lot of
yeah.
games. So I just want to talk a little bit. We don't have stats on this library because they just take them off the shelf and play them.
Right.
Yeah.
It's very informal compared to the other events.
But it's still interesting to see what gets played. Because it's such a long con, lengthy con sounds better because a long con sounds like I played
Right,
the
yeah,
long
seems
con.
fine, yeah.
We're playing you.
People can play big games. Like every day, there was at least one Twilight Imperium game being played.
I think people are comfortable doing that because they know they're there for 6 days, 7 days, and so it's like, okay, fine, I can give 8 hours to a game and not feel like I'm using the whole convention for it.
Yeah, so that applies even
proportionally.
doubly so to 3-hour games because you're like, wow,
Oh, right.
3-hour game is nothing. So
Yeah.
a lot of that stuff gets played.
Agreed.
It would be hard for me to say the game that we saw get played the most. I want to say it's a tie between Distilled was getting played a
It was
ton,
getting played a lot. I saw that out quite a bit.
Interesting, I didn't.
and Thunder Road.
That was out
Vendetta,
constantly.
yes.
Thunder Road
Yeah,
Vendetta was
constantly.
just those were being played a ton.
You know, one that really surprised me that I saw out a lot, like I can think of 4 times at least off the top of my head that I saw it, was that Expedition. Singular.
Yes, the side expeditions.
Huh?
No, the Korean
one,
game
the brown box.
Expedition.
Oh wow!
Expedition.
From Essen last year.
Right.
It's this small deck building game. I taught it even one of those times.
did you?
Somebody
Okay.
asked me.
Have you reviewed it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we reviewed it back when it came in.
Do you like it?
Yeah, I like
I mean, it
it.
was probably 6 months ago or so.
Right.
And so, but the fact that it was reviewed, it's a small little game. I mean, the box has Expedition written on it, but above, the main title is in Korean.
Right.
You know.
I thought it was interesting. Yeah, you're
that's
right.
good. I saw it a lot.
That got played a lot. Yeah,
Which is
and I don't know if it's
fantastic.
people discovering it. At least one of those groups did say, "Oh, that they had seen the review and they were like, oh, we wanted to try it." But yeah,
really
it
cool.
did. There's also, of course, our shelf. One of the later shelves tends to have the newer things, and that's the one that most people bombard and pillage to
Yeah.
get all their goodies. One really interesting thing I saw being played, there was a group of folks there that were playing a legacy game, The Rise of Queensdale.
They were finishing it. They started it at Dice Tower West.
Yeah, so they played about half the legacy
interesting.
campaign at Dice Tower West, and so they spent a good chunk of time doing that. I thought it was great because it's these folks that come together for these events. You know, that's when they can get together. So I really that made me happy to see that they were using it to enjoy that.
Yeah.
Last Light was getting played.
Yeah, that was out a
Side
lot.
Expeditions was getting played. One thing I did not see, which I thought I would see more of, there was not a ton of Blood on the Clock Tower. There was a couple games of it that got run, but last retreat it was run like.
Well,
But
it's
I mean-
out now, right?
Right, because there's also like a couple like canceled of it because they only didn't have enough signups.
Yeah,
So I
that was
thought
kind of unusual.
interesting. But I think you're right. It's because it's out now, so maybe people are playing it in their game groups or.
Oh, I meant more like it's out now, so who cares? It's not cool anymore.
Oh, well, that's also.
Now they're going to their own. We discovered there's a Blood on the Clock Tower convention in Vegas, actually, coming up at the end of September or October, I guess. That blew my mind.
That's,
Wow.
There's also
Yeah.
that Beat the 8-Ball, which everybody's saying right now in the comments. Yes.
Oh, did you see I got it?
No, I haven't seen it, but I'll tell you what, I bet you're not the only one. I know several people who were playing it and then buying it.
I do remember because I told you I was like, we played this on the channel or something like that, and I couldn't remember. It was at Essen last year. There was a tornado game that's exactly the same at Essen last year, and that's what I was getting confused on. Is I played it at Essen last year. It was a tornado theme one, but the exact same game.
I like it. I got it. I'll be reviewing that next week, actually, already.
We never did get the one where you throw axes, Tom, at Essen.
What?
There was a game at Essen last year.
No.
You're not like punking me like this is
Oh,
the real?
yeah.
No, it wasn't last year because she would have remembered it. It was before
Was
she
it
was
2
there.
years ago? I don't know.
What
It was
did
a
we do
game
with that
at
game?
Essen that had a little target, like a little foam target.
Like darts.
Yeah, and you threw legit like little axes at it.
Okay, no, don't get too excited.
I'm hitting order right now. Can I use your computer?
But I got it. I know I got the game. Where is it?
I've never seen it. Did we not get
I'm
it?
offended that I don't know about this.
I just was always amused. We go up there. There's this little kid throwing an axe.
Yeah, like we would
Yes.
walk by this booth, And legit, there would always be somebody throwing an axe at a wall, and I'm like, we're surrounded by people. I don't trust that kid's dexterity
Right.
at all.
I mean, how many times do you go bowling and the kid goes for it, and it's like, whoosh.
Yeah.
He goes to throw
Except
the
think of like a sharp bowling ball that can cut you. I don't know. You need to figure that out once we're done here, okay?
Yes, you do.
Where would it be?
It would be probably in Camilla's luggage somewhere.
No,
honestly.
no. If
That's
I
where
knew
would
about
be.
it, it would be.
Yeah.
But I didn't know
Happened
about
to
it.
All right, anyway, back to the retreat. I was telling Z there was a group of people who played through all the Garfield games in a row.
Wild.
We definitely, like I said, there was once 2 Twilight Imperium games being played at the same time. There was like a 5-hour game, but I also saw a 12-hour. There was a 3D setup of Twilight Imperium being played.
Wow.
There were some older games that were played that I was surprised at. There was some newer stuff that I didn't see out much at all. I didn't see a lot of the Lacerda stuff out this time, but the new Nucleum game was being played all over the
That
place.
was
saw that a
being
lot.
played. Yep.
A couple Magic drafts, and I think I saw a couple people playing Lorcana, but not a lot of Lorcana was there.
I will say on that note with Lorcana, I feel like there weren't a lot of 2-player games being played. And we have people that come to these things regularly who do tend to only play 2-player, and I saw them in more 4-player games. And so I thought that was really cool. There was quite a few couples and people there together, and it seemed like it's definitely grouping up, like we like the 4-player games. That was really pleasing.
I agree with
people are
that. I did
meeting.
not see a lot of 2-player games going on.
Yeah.
Oh, Chrissy's correct, though. There was a lot of trick-taking being played.
Yes.
Now, a good 50% of that's because Jonathan Barron just set up a green sign and had a pile of trick-taking games.
And Mike DeLisio
And
should
20
also take some of that blame, to
Right,
be fair.
25% is Mike. So we're up to 75% on 2 people. Yeah.
Mike is a renaissance. Yeah, it was a renaissance there
I
anyway.
hope not. Holy.
There were a lot. I played a couple of them myself.
I did. Was there anything, I played a lot of new stuff. Was there anything new that you were first time?
Yeah, I played a few things for the first time. The highlight of that is probably a game we'll be reviewing soon called Veil of Eternity. I think that's what it's
That
called.
sounds right.
It's over there. It's
That one I played like
newish. So
6 times. I kept bringing that out.
yeah,
to
it's
teach
very
people.
interesting. Very interesting. I played that and a few other things. I always teach at these events, of course, a few things either I bring or pull off the shelf. And Expedition was one I ended up teaching. I played some Wild Child West, and then a couple of party games that I like to bring. Get a few groups together and play things. But I don't know. It seemed like there were more games being played by larger groups, like you said. A lot of new stuff also, but then interesting, weird things happening. Longer games because people get together. Legacy game. It was a nice spread of stuff going down. Some silliness that catches on behind the 8-ball, stuff like that. So I really enjoyed the vibe seemed well spread out, what was going on there.
I think that's good. Commenting on that vibe is it definitely, like we said, the hotness was being played. That shelf 28 was by far the emptiest shelf.
Yes.
There was still 3/4 way full, but it was being utilized. But I saw just as many old games. The vibe was not as frenzied at a lot of other cons. Like, what's the hotness? I gotta play it. I gotta try it. I gotta this. It was like, oh, I'm excited to do that. But also, I want to go back and play some of these favorites or introduce my favorite games to people.
Yeah.
So the vibe was very good this year and not as FOMO frenzy.
FOMO Frenzy is the name of my
hotness
upcoming
frenzy, I
convention,
guess.
by the way.
It only has new games.
Yeah.
And there's
After it gets played once, I retire from the convention. FOMO Frenzy.
people are just there's like huge money amounts if you win.
Yeah.
Or just play the first game. Alrighty. Well, lots of different games. It was a great time. When we very much look forward to the same library with all these games is going on the cruise, which is in January. You still have time to sign up. There's a few rooms left for that. And I'm looking forward to that. Well, slightly. I'm really looking forward to World Series of Board Gaming and Essen coming up in a couple weeks. Cannot think about the cruise yet.
Yeah, one thing at a time.
Yeah, but if I'm saying if you're hearing this and you're like, oh, I wish I could play these games, all the good ones will be on the cruise for sure. So, and more.
Yeah.
We're adding new games all the time. But that's it. That's it for Board Game Smorgasbord. later on today, we got other videos that are popping up across feed. You're doing What's Happening today?
That's right.
What are you playing?
I don't know. I just remembered.
All right, well, I'll tell you what he's playing in. Twilight Imperium Online.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's it.
He'll be playing that today and tomorrow.
And tomorrow,
And
right, yeah,
into Saturday.
Until next time, though, I'm Tom Basil.
I'm Camilla.
I'm Z.
We'll see you next time.